Two-Tone Zone. Two-Tone Zone.
What's going on, Tide Nation? You are tuned in to the Two-Tone Zone. I am your host, Mr. Two-Tone, and I got my A1 Day 1 in the building with us today. My co-host, D Weez, man. Go on and say what up to Tide Nation, bro.
All right, what's up, man? Great win. Let's go.
Man, great win, bro. Absolutely. Man, let's talk about this real quick. So, final score, obviously, we know 28-16. But did you expect our defense to show up the way they did?
That D-line is hungry, man. That D-line is hungry. Autry, yeah, Simmons, Landry, they are clicking right now. We got a lot of good stuff going on with that defensive line. And shout out to the whole defense yesterday, holding them boys to, 9 points until the fourth quarter? Or they got 9. I guess they got a field goal in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, the whole game, only 9 points until the fourth quarter. That's amazing. Against the Rams, you don't get much better than that, bro.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype surrounding the Lambs and that whole entire franchise. A whole lot of hype just around the whole organization. And unfortunately for them, you know, they succumbed to their wounds last night, man. Because we were definitely making sure Stafford was feeling the pressure. You know, feeling the heat in that kitchen.
Was there.
And, you know, he's throwing picks away to David Long Jr. You know, you had Kevin Byard with a pick 6. I mean, you can't ask for any better type of performance from a defense. Our defense was stellar last night. They, you know, just as a group collectively, it is just very impressive to watch. And very exciting, Very exciting for Titans fans. I know you can agree. Yeah,
I mean, think about this. They held the Rams to it was 4 for 15 on third downs. Mm-hmm. So they stepped up big. They stepped up real big last night.
Yeah, they did, man. At times it was like, man, it's looking like our third down defense is, you know, having flashbacks from last year. But eventually, you know, we figured it out collectively, and that's what matters.
Right.
Especially when, you know, especially when our offense is playing, you know, very I want to say poorly, but I would just say underperforming.
Right.
You know, underperforming and just trying to get things to click over on that aspect. But let's go ahead and just stick with the defense though. So on if you look at the stat sheet, you know, we got to figure out like how the hell we won. You know, because when you look at, you know, how many yards we put up in comparison to the Los Angeles Rams, it's like you really got to look at the stat sheet and say, how did we win? So, you know, obviously we had 5 sacks on Matt Stafford. You know, I mean, he threw 2 interceptions.
Yep.
Right, and penalties killed the Los Angeles Rams last night. Definitely in our favor, man. But that just goes to show you that you can shoot yourself in the foot and take yourself out of a game by making those bonehead mistakes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they had 12 penalties for 115 yards. That's a whole football field they gave up.
Right.
They gave the whole field, bro, and a little bit more.
Right. We'll take it, though. We appreciate those yards. We
appreciate
it. There was one thing that, you know, after going back and watching film, I'd have to question the officiating crew and some of those calls. You know, I have to really question it. You know, even when it's, you know, in our favor or not in our favor, I still pay attention to the officiating crew, even though that's out of our control.
Right.
And, you know, out of the players and coaches' control. But it's just, let's just talk about, for example, Tyler Higbee. Was he out of bounds? I mean, going back and watching the replays, man, and just, you know, zooming in, it looked like he was in bounds, man. It looked like they got robbed of a touchdown. I'm not going to lie.
It is what it is. Kenny, it's too late now. It's already said and done now.
Hey.
Apparently, he was out of bounds. If he's out of bounds, out of bounds.
Right. Hey, I like Mike Vrabel's his comment last night about that. You know, because he was talking about the officiating crews having a Twitter, so you can send questions that way via Twitter. And he's like, man, hey, we have the same access as you. I don't have any secret access or any, you know, any type of privileges or perks when it comes to that regard.
Right.
So if you have a question, go ahead and send your statements over to them.
Right. If you have any complaints, put in the complaint box.
Right.
And,
I thought that was hilarious.
To answer them in a timely manner.
I thought that was hilarious how he answered that. Hey man, if you had to give a two-tone elite player the game on defense, man, who would it be?
Oh, definitely Jeffrey. Big Jeff in the building.
Big Jeff with 3 sacks.
Oh man, that boy's out there counting them,
Yep.
and that forced interception too.
Absolutely, man. I would it's up in the air between him and Danico, man, because Danico had a couple of batted down balls as well.
They could not stop Danico. That boy was everywhere. They could not. I don't know what they ate before the game. It might have just been the LA weather or something, but them boys was on one last night.
Yeah, man. That's why we won the game essentially, was because of that defense. So just imagine once things start clicking on all cylinders, you know. We didn't have to use Fat Randy last night, you know, which is an okay thing. We don't need to worry about that. We were scoring touchdowns when we needed to in the red zone, right? And we had the defense putting points on the board as well. So, but it's just good to know that we're not forced to use our kicker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We are able to execute and put points on the board. You know, and I want to talk about the offense real quick. So let's go ahead and just pivot over to the offense.
Yes.
Why do you think we started off so slow yesterday on offense?
Just implementing a new running back, trying to get him into the system, but we cannot have 69 rushing yards and win games. So
I mean, you can. I mean, we did it against the Buffalo Bills, didn't we?
Yeah, but this is, I mean, come on, only 69 rushing yards. That's tough, man.
Oh no, excuse me, it wasn't the Buffalo Bills because he balled out against the Bills. Who was it? With Derrick Henry when he was it? It was against the. It wasn't against the Colts. It was against the Chiefs that we had 68 yards. I want to say.
Right, but we started Derrick Henry.
Yes, but still, it was only 68 yards.
He still pulls the threat. But now 69 yards. That's not going to cut it if we're trying to make it to the Super Bowl. There's no way that teams are going to watch this film and be like, oh, see, if we play defense, then we could have won the game. Mm-hmm. Our defense stepped up big for us, put us in the right position at the right time, made it. They were basically handing Tannehill the ball right in the red zone.
Yeah, but let's talk about handing over the ball, man. Tannehill did make a poor decision. He tried to
only one.
But it was early on in the game, and things could have went left for us, man. Jalen Ramsey definitely jumped that underthrown ball, and it could have been worse for us, man.
And that was a bad call too. I think they said unnecessary roughness or whatever. He pushed him down. I didn't think he pushed. I thought he was just so excited, just in the way because he kind of was like, oh shit, my bad,
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I don't know. It seemed like there was some bad blood going on, out there. There were some hot heads out on the field. Let's talk about Jalen Ramsey versus AJ Brown. Who's gonna win in that fight?
Oh, AJ Brown all day.
Hey, head up, man. Just
AJ Brown all day. AJ all the way.
You got your money on AJ?
I got my money on AJ.
Right. I mean, hey, Jalen Ramsey definitely has like a little reach, a little advantage in that regard. But as far as like heart, I'm gonna give it to AJ Brown.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But hey, that's outside the realm of football. Let's just forget that. That doesn't even has no relevance to this conversation.
Right.
But so there was some questionable calls as well again from the officiating crew as far as Jalen Ramsey. Do you think that he should have been ejected from the game? Because they went back and changed the call, which would been. I
don't know. It's tough. I think you just gotta let him play. Just let them play, man.
Yeah.
That's a sport they play. It's legal violence. Like you cannot expect somebody to go out there and give it their all if they're these superstars if they are withheld to act a certain way or not get hype or it's just emotions out there. It's just a bunch of emotions. I'm happy he got ejected. I ain't gonna lie, but you gotta let him play, man. This could have been a Super Bowl matchup right here. Preview to a Super Bowl matchup, yeah.
Potentially, man. I'm with Skip Bayless, man. I usually don't agree with him a lot, but I was watching the show earlier. He doesn't believe in Matthew Stafford. He thinks that he's gonna start to unravel. I was on the Stafford train, MVP candidate, because he was playing at an MVP caliber. So
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was going in that direction, but just after going and listening to Skip Bayless and him stating some facts, man, I'm just like, he might start to digress.
Right.
I mean, he hasn't had very many big wins against top tier quarterbacks. You know what I mean? I forgot what the numbers were, for Stafford, but it wasn't in his favor, man. And proof's always in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? And he couldn't handle that pressure last night. It looks like he might have got hurt as well from Bud Dupree. Did you see his ankle get caught up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's feeling it today, but hey, that's neither here nor there. But I just wanted to kind of just pivot and talk about that for a quick second. As of right now, who would you say is MVP, the highest MVP candidate, more likely to win the MVP?
You're talking about just in general in the league, right?
Just in general.
It's going to be tough. Kyler Murray, if he comes back and plays solid. Aaron Rodgers, of course, our boy, he was right up there.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's hurt. I mean, if you can see Tannehill pull some things around, man, if he can start being more efficient and leading like an offensive charge, you can see Tannehill get up there in the ranks. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just seeing quarterbacks right now. I'm not really seeing anybody else outside of a quarterback that could really take over for MVP. I mean, and everybody's getting hurt. There's COVID, there's people getting hurt. Who knows what's going to happen? Like, there's just so much stuff that's unpredictable this year. We don't even know what's going to happen next week. Who's going to be on the COVID list? Who's going to, have COVID? Who's going to be hurt? Like, it's just crazy right now. Like, it's just unpredictable. You just got to go with what you got.
Right.
But yeah, I think those are my three. I think you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Kyler Murray, you got Tannehill potentially if he can just put out a lot more offense. Who else could be MVP? I mean, you got Josh Allen, but he had a horrible performance versus the Jags. He let the Jags win. We thought that the Jags were going to win another game.
Right.
Yeah.
But man, hey, so you just brought something up that wants me to lead to the next topic. A lot of people are going down, especially for our Tennessee Titans, and that next man up mentality has just been crucial for us. I mean, I can't say it enough. We have guys going down left and right, but we have we have depth coming in.
Right.
We have depth coming in, and they're coming in and producing. But I do want to say something about Bobby Hart. Bobby Hart last night was atrocious. Taylor Lewan was not playing at tackle, and Bobby Hart, he's a veteran. He's been on a few different teams, couple different ball clubs, but he was atrocious for us last night. So I wanted to eliminate him from this topic of the conversation because, like I said, he definitely didn't hold it down for us. But like I said, we got the job done. Thank God for our defense being as tenacious as they were.
Right.
And we want to talk about too. You mentioned something about superstars. What's going on with Julio Jones, man? Why isn't he targeted a lot more? There was a couple plays, a couple missed opportunities where Julio was wide open, and Tannehill was forcing some balls to let's just maybe say AJ Brown. He was definitely forcing some
I don't know. I
in
think
there.
you called it earlier before. I mean, when we found out Julio was coming to the Titans, that he's going to be out there to be a distraction.
Yeah.
He's gonna show up when it's time to make some crucial catches. But right now, you got to keep him on the watch. We don't need him hurt. This is going to be a long season. It's already been a long season so far. I feel like we've seen a lot of football so far, and we got an extra game this year. So I think that the Titans know that if we're able to get that first round bye, then I think that's when you're going to see all our plays come out in the playoffs, right? But I think right now, they're just keeping everybody on the watch, making sure nobody really gets hurt because they know we have the chance to get that first round bye and already get that advantage to go into the Super Bowl.
With that being my fault.
No, go ahead. No, I just saw a stat that the Titans are 13-3 on the road since 2019. Just crazy how well the Tennessee plays away. So,
with you saying that about Julio Jones and him being on a snap count, do you think we'll see him this weekend against the New Orleans Saints, Week 10? He does have a lot of familiarity with the New Orleans Saints and their franchise, being that he was in the NFC South for his whole career. Do you think we'll see him this weekend, or do you think we're gonna be on some load management stuff with him?
No, I think we'll see him. I don't think we'll see. Hopefully, 2-3 big plays, but you're not going to see him out there just having 20 targets. I think he's going to have 5 to 7 targets, just because he knows how that Saints system is. But you gotta watch out though. Like you said, like we said, we just want to make sure that all our players are healthy at the end of the season and everybody's ready to go when it comes down for the playoffs. And we just gotta take it one game at a time, but we also got to manage the loads very strictly as well.
Absolutely. I want to say one more thing before we get into our running back committee. Let's talk about Jeff Swain, man. He's been a big target for Tannehill these past 2 games.
Yeah.
And he's definitely shown some ability. Some ability to create some yards after the catch. To be in the right position in the red zone. For us to be able to execute and get points on the board rather than bringing Fat Randy out to for 3 points settling.
Right.
So I want to give him his credit, man, because he's definitely proven his worth within this tight ends group.
Right.
At some point, we need Anthony Fursker to step up because Michael Pruitt has stepped up already, right?
Yep.
When his number was called. Jeff Swain has. We're starting to see Fursker, coming to his own. So hopefully we have a breakout game from Fursker.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, we put all we thought all the marbles were going to be put on him at tight end, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's his psyche. There's something going on with his psyche, and then just his I guess his physical ability, man. I think he's kind of downing his physical ability based upon the injury that he had to overcome in the offseason.
Right.
Right, man. But let's talk about this running back committee, man. Adrian Peterson with 10 carries for 21 yards, 1 touchdown. It was good to see him to get on the board, right, as a Tennessee Titan. Then we have Deontay Foreman. He led the group with 29 yards with 5 carries. We have Jimmy McNichols with 7 carries and 24 yards, which totaled up to about, 69 yards earlier. Then that's 22 carries altogether. Coming into week 10, how do you rank our running backs and who gets the most carries? Who's our number 1 through 3? Go in and rank them. How are you going into week 10?
I don't know. I mean, I guess you got to go with McNichols, right? He's going to be my number 1.
McNichols is your number 1?
Yeah.
Nah, man. Let me go first real quick.
You said let me. You said let me rank them. Then you gonna step in.
Yo, let me step in, man.
What kind of was that? A trick? Is that a trick question? Get out of here. I'm gonna go with McNichols, then Peterson and Foreman, man. Come on, man. I'm not.
Oh, okay. Okay, say that one more time.
McNichols,
mm-hmm.
Peterson, and Foreman.
I got you. I'm going with Peterson, Foreman, then McNichols. I'm using McNichols in pass protection, and I'm using him in the screen game. Last night, he got lit up in the screen game. He did have some good plays for us off those screens, but he got lit up a lot, just because it was kind of obvious play calling by Todd Downing.
Right. They already knew it was coming.
The Rams were set up for it, but that's how I would rank them, man. That's how I'm getting those guys the balls. Man. I'm giving the most carries to Peterson, and then Foreman, and then McNichols.
I got you.
That's how I'd rank it, man.
I got you.
But collectively, like, they're gonna ball out. I was hoping for a 100-yard game from Adrian Peterson, but I was being very, very optimistic. Being a biased Titans fan, it was definitely his first game back. You could tell.
Right.
But did you see him when he got that touchdown? he was how happy he was.
Oh man, he's jumping for joy.
He was too happy, man. I was glad to see it.
Right.
It's good to see him in a Titans uniform, man. Who would have ever thought Adrian Peterson would have been a Tennessee Titan?
Right. Exactly.
Who would have ever thought? So, as far as Tannehill goes, we talked about his decision making early on in the game yesterday. Going into week 10, do you feel like he's healthy enough? Because I want to talk about it, man. I think he might have had like a baby concussion against the Colts because he just looked off yesterday. He didn't look like himself. I mean, I know it was a primetime game. I know it was, there was a lot on the line as far as, us remaining number 1 in the AFC. But he just didn't look the same. He didn't look like he was basically on cloud 9.
Right.
It just didn't look like he was in his own right mind.
Right.
Would you agree with that? Yeah,
to an extent. It's just maybe I don't know, man. He looked all right to me. He didn't look too out of it. I mean, he still got that Jumpman logo going on when he scored a touchdown. So
right.
he definitely knew what he was doing.
That Tanny roll.
He just, I don't know. Maybe that pick kind of just messed with him in the beginning of the game. You know, like throwing that pick, maybe he just became a little bit more conservative.
Yeah, a little more conservative, keeping it kind of humble.
Yeah,
keeping
I
it
think that
honest.
he's like, all right, here we go. Let's not get another one of these.
Right. All right, man. Maybe I took it a little far to say he had a minor concussion, but there was something off with his mentality.
Right.
Right, man. So going into week 10, we have the New Orleans Saints. We're gonna be at home. You know, we had a little road trip, but now we're back at home. Did you watch the highlights, or did you watch the game against the Falcons yesterday?
I did. I saw the end of it. I saw Cordell do the unthinkable. Didn't step out of bounds, nothing. Ran the ball all the way down to the red zone, and they won the game with the field goal.
Right.
After the Saints just scored too. But you got to understand too, the Saints got their backup. They got Simeon playing. Right. So that's an easy target on his back right there. If we can just manipulate that offensive line like we did this week, there should be no reason why we cannot blow out the Saints.
For sure, man.
That defense, I cannot believe what was going on. I was like, they really just scored a touchdown, and now they let big plays happen for them to get down to the red zone already. I was like, wow.
Exactly, man. I was very impressed by their defense thus far in the season, and then you see that breakdown. But it's like it almost seems like it's a domino effect, you know, from losing Winston, right, and now you have Trevor Simeon, you know, under center. You don't know who your quarterback is between him and Taysom Hill,
right?
You know, and then pretty much all you have on offense is who? Kamara. So,
yeah.
But that's a whole nother conversation. We'll get into that. But ultimately, man, let's just go ahead and wrap up week 9, and you know, take this victory, take it with the utmost humility, but at the same time, we know what's on the line. You know, right now, we number one in the AFC, number one in the AFC South. You know, getting that first round bye, you know, giving the King a little more time to get healthy would just be you know, golden for our organization. Would just be the best move possible. So however we can get there, let's get there. Who do we have? We have the Saints coming up. Then we have the Patriots.
Yep.
Right.
That's gonna be a hard game.
Do you have the schedule out in front of you?
Well, let me see here. I'll let you know who else we play right now. Let's see here. We still have to play the Steelers, Texans, 49ers, Patriots, and we got to play the Jaguars again, right?
Jaguars, and we got the Texans twice.
Yep.
Right, and then so we play the 49ers on a Thursday night, I believe. That's the Thursday night game.
And we still have the Dolphins too.
Yep. So they said we had the easiest schedule in the league for the rest of the season, and we have like a 99% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But if we can go into the playoffs, the number 1 seed, man, by all means, let's do it. Let's do it, man. Faith over fear. We're not scared of nobody. You guys know the drill. It's always Titan Gang or don't bang over here. You guys make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the Two Tone Zone. Go follow us at Instagram at _ official Two Tone Zone. Follow us on Twitter at Two Tone Zone Show on Twitter.
Right.
And then here on YouTube. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Right now, I think we have 575 subscribers. So, you know, we're on the up and up. We're in no rush to get to that thou wow, but you know, we just want to make sure we're providing that content and doing it at a consistent level. So with that being said, until next time, we'll holla at y'all. Peace.
Welcome to the Two-Tone Zone. Two-Tone Zone. Welcome to the Two-Tone Zone.